You're looking at the title. Bear with me, we will get to it. Now, I've made several videos over the last few days, especially on the colossal shift the Western world has made, in particular, everyone but America at this point, when it comes to supporting Palestine. And this is really important, okay? If you care about the content I make, stick out for this one, because this one in particular is about specifically you. Now, many are quick to point out the shift by the Western world. There is just words, right? Muffles, they're just yammering, right? Recognizing or promising to recognize Palestine is about as useful to starving civilians as a brand new PlayStation 5 with no socket to plug it into, no TV to connect it to, bruv, no house to live in and play those games, no electricity to actually power the damn device at all. So the Western powers might as well be airdropping PS5s, or if you prefer, Xbox Ones into the Gaza Strip for all the good it will do the Palestinians under the Israeli blockade, suffering from the starvation campaign. Now that's where I come in and I point out that it's not effective. These recognition offers or threats of recognition is not as effective. It's not effective to save the Palestinians in Gaza, to feed the Palestinians, but Palestinian recognition by Western countries would still be huge progress. Allow me to explain why. It would be a huge shift. It shows the deterioration of the unconditional support the Western nations have for the Israeli state. Perhaps after 2 years of horrific atrocities, perhaps the West is moving finally towards conditional support, not unconditional. And that's a big shift, right? I know it's beggars can't be choosers, though, right? I know the bar is set so low you can trip over it, but hear me out. It's going from unconditional support, I'm not looking, do what you want, Israel, blank check, here you go, Israel, to conditional support. Conditional being, don't act like absolute inhumane monsters, only act like that some of the time. And don't make it so public that everyone sees it and then says, oh wow, how's my government supporting it? That's such an inconvenience for us, Israel. Please. Easy boy, please. Right? Similar to how a chain smoker should be celebrated if they move from 2 packs a day to a pack and a half. A pack and a half is still tragic, but it's progress, right? Progress should be appreciated. Similarly here, progress should be appreciated. Having said that, it's important to note why the progress came about. Magically, what happened? Our boy Starmer, this is not really your boy, but Starmer, right? Friedrich Merz, Emmanuel Macron, really? Like, did they suddenly realize, oh, out of the goodness of their hearts, Monsieur, I have finally realized the Palestinian cause is the correct way to go. I do not want to be on the wrong side of history. Pierre, call them up. I'm going to drop aid and I'm going to recognize Palestine in September. Oui, oui. No. Okay, they didn't just suddenly become good people, right? This is where understanding of geopolitics comes up again. You see, the Western nations at a state level, they don't operate on what is morally right. Don't and never have done. What is the good thing to do? That's not how they work. That's not how they swing, right? To be fair, I'm a geopolitical analyst. Almost no country on earth operates on what's morally right. Right? I don't know a single one actually that exclusively operates on what's the good thing to do, what's morally right. There's no heroes in politics, guys. There's only necessity, and then after you've managed to carry out the absolute necessities, if you're a smooth enough operator and you have your preferences as a leader or someone in the administration, your preference is leaning towards what is good, what is right, what is moral, then you might be able to, lean the state in the right direction, right? That's the best you're going to get. Now, back to the Western states. They operate on what's best for their administration, right? What's good only for me, I will do that. And the calculation with regards to Israel Palestine has shifted, right? It's reached a key turning point geopolitically. Support for Israel is now more of a liability than a profit, right? For political advancement, political popularity, it's become a liability, a political loss to support Israel in many cases, in many countries. Where it's new. The UK, for example, is included in this. You see, politicians often seem like they are blindly pro-Israel, but why? Why? It's not a drug, right? It's not prophecy or anything. It's calculated. Israeli lobby groups, Zionist supporters, backers, donors, will help politicians' careers along. They are well connected. But you have to be pro Israel, of course, to benefit from that, to cash in. But now something has changed. Now, in some countries, Western countries included, especially Western countries, rather, I should say, in some states, even in America, e.g., um, I'm not sure why I said e.g. like that. Okay. Support for Israel may do more harm to your political career than help it. Zohran Mamdani, a New York mayoral candidate, was the only one, for example, when asked, where would your first international visit as New York mayor be? And everyone was like, I'll go to Israel. I'll go to Israel. Of course, I'll go to Israel. And Zohran was like, I'll stay here in New York because I'm the New York mayor. There's lots I need to do for these people. And loads of New Yorkers were like, that's actually a good answer. Why is everyone else like busy going to Israel before they even elected? Like, you see, so supporting Israel's become a liability. Jeremy Corbyn, for example, a member of parliament here in the UK, opposed to Israel. He just started a new political party. It likely has more signed up members than the Labour Party already, and the Labour Party is kind of in government, right? It kind of runs the country, so it's a big deal. Countries across the Western world have leaders coming out and supporting an end to Israel's starvation policies, and they're not doing that in the face of resistance from their populations. It's not like the leaders, the administrations are having to fight their people. No, they're bending the knee. They're bending to people's demands, the common people, right? So these people's political power, shock and horror, relies upon you. Me and my box home office, 6 foot wide only. You in your car with this phone on the dashboard, that's right, or on that sticky, clippy thing on the windscreen. I know where you're watching from, you guys. As you go or as you come back from work on commute. The commoner is what is moving the leadership in these Western countries, in these Western democracies, to action, to shift their position. I point this out because there is a weapon, there is a list, no, there is a weapon that collectively the citizens of the world have, the proletariat, the working class, common people have. That weapon is political weight. You actually have a say. Your views actually matter. Your opinion actually shapes state policy, but only if you believe that your opinion matters, only if you believe that you can shape state policy. The wealthy class, with more power per person, but they're fewer in number, that wealthy class are happy to convince people the view, uh, to convince the commoner that the commoner's view has no bearing on politics. Don't worry, you sit down, you work your 9 to 5. You have no say in this process. Leave it to me, the billionaire. I have the power for better or worse. You can't stop me, all right? It is inevitable. My will is inevitable. It will be done. They work hard to convince the common people that they have no power. The common people has no power because if your political power remains deactivated, they are the ones that directly benefit, right? They have their political power fully activated, fully mobilized. If you keep yours deactivated, you don't mobilize your political power, they hold a greater slice of the political pie. It's very simple. Whereas if you activate, now they have to contend with you. You might disagree as a bloc versus the wealthy few, and now they have to sort of fight you using their resources. It's a big headache. It's better for us to convince them they have no power. Then they won't really have the power effectively. It won't be executed, and we can carry on doing what we do best, which is do what serves us, right? Is the same reason why immigrants, foreigners, are blamed for a country's ills, for the economic hardship of the natives, right? Especially in the UK, for example, now is going on. There's basically, if you listen to the alarmists, there's basically a civil war about to pop off. Oh, and my phone's about to slide sideways. There's a situation where in the UK where immigrants are blamed, especially illegal immigrants, I should say. The focus primarily is on illegal immigrants, but it's the tip of the iceberg because racists will obviously follow in behind the common people with legitimate concerns, and they'll sort of say, "Oh, we're against illegal immigration as well." But loads of them are against immigration per se, like not per se, immigration full stop. Um, now this concern, this hatred for immigrants, especially illegal immigrants, is great for the wealthy class because the wealthy class are happy, pitting the impoverished natives against the impoverished and struggling foreigners or immigrants, right? Let the poor people fight it out, brown, white, whatever, yellow, Asian, beige, it doesn't matter, off-white, as I've heard some people be called. Let them fight it out because they know the wealthy upper class few who are actually not supporters of the general population, because not all people in the wealthy upper class are um, of the same opinion. They're not a monolith group, but by and large, they know, the wealthy upper class, that they cannot unite. They cannot face, sorry, a united working class, right? Um, if the political power is activated within the working class, is a big problem for these guys. I digress with all this. It's too much, right? I know. Coming back to the point, Western states' positions are shifting because the people are demanding that shift. And if these democracies, if in these democracies the calls from the people are ignored for long enough, well, then the government will be booted out and replaced. Worst case scenario, these countries might even suffer rebellions. So the will of the people does move the needle, and the people in political power have to sort of tune themselves to the reality, the people on the street and what they're saying and their sentiment, right? Which brings us to the title. To make sure not too much noise is made, to make sure it doesn't attract too much attention. The sounds of gunshots are not caught on camera. International news agencies have confirmed, for example, that contractors and uh, or the IDF are now using silencers attached to the front of their guns as they shoot at unarmed Palestinians waiting for food to feed their families. Silencers, guys. As in to keep shooting, to keep injuring, to keep killing civilians, but on the hush hush, on the down low, killing them softly, as it were. It's this world we live in with this type of news that silencers are being used so that if there's any footage coming out of the area, you can't hear the gunshots, or people don't hear the gunshots that might slay them as they stand waiting for food. This is the world we live in. This is the world where Western governments are only now just reacting. And even then, it's conditional. Oh, we're going to recognize Palestine unless you do a little bit of good, or you're beating this person to death. Just slow down your blows just a bit and we'll not recognize Palestine. That's the kind of framing. It's a infuriating, shocking framing that history will not see in a good light. But here we are. This is where the Western world is. Even now that they are shifting, the shift is sluggish. It's slow. It's conditional. It's lukewarm, but it's still progress. It shows one thing: there is no justice in geopolitics. There is no morality claimed by the Western world that's legitimate. It was all a sham. Some people saw through it earlier. Some more people are seeing through it now. Now, when I say there is no justice in geopolitics, I mean there is no justice and operation through morality at the political level, at the highest levels. It doesn't have to be that way, though. A whole new generation are moving through late teenage years, early adulthood. Eventually, they'll move into late adulthood. That's the generation that will be taking positions of power in a variety of different countries, in a variety of regions across the world. A more social media savvy, a more information democratized environment, growing up in a more information available setup. Those are the people that are going to decide how states operate. And it doesn't have to always be the way currently it is. Now, the people, be it in far off New Zealand or here in the UK, the people in America or in Australia, the people anywhere, they have the ability collectively to change the course of the entire state. Don't let anyone convince you that your voice does not matter. It's merely a matter of assessing where you live, what governance model your state operates under, and acting accordingly. A man in the UK might decide to assess analytically the situation, see the two sides on a specific matter, decide he is on X side, not Y side. And then he goes off and he protests and he pushes and he writes to his MP, or he becomes an MP and fights for what he believes in, da 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 da. That now a man living in, you know, Xinjiang province, China, cannot operate in the same way. He can do stuff, but you can't do what I just described now in the UK. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you might as well shoot yourself in the foot. A man operating in Saudi can't just take to the streets and complain about the administration. He might find a conveniently placed unmarked van in front of his house the next day. Don't do that. Don't, because that doesn't help. If you believe in something, assess your situation, your environment, and then act accordingly, each according to their ability and according to your location. It's a long one. It's been a long one. For the unbiased news and analysis without the Western spin, I'm Mahfouz. Got a headache, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to support me in every way or any way that you can. Thank you for your support.